You're just in time for yet another exciting episode of Entrepreneurs Lounge. And as usual, we're shooting at Daughter's Home Exclusive Furniture in Westlands on Parklands Road. Now, my first guest is Dennis Mutoro, Managing Director of Africa Logistics, which carries out operations across the entire region of East Africa. You're very welcome, Dennis.
Thank you, Ingrid, for hosting me.
Thank you very much for coming today. I'm excited to have this conversation.
It's a pleasure. Thank you.
Africa Logistics. What's this about? Tell me about your business.
Okay, we founded Africa Logistics in the year 2015, around February. But that was after a long journey of being in a previous business with partners from 2009 all the way, still in the same field. So what Africa Logistics does is that we're entirely a logistics firm, but specializing mainly in warehousing storage systems, shipping, logistics, and customs clearing and forwarding.
Now, before we fully delve into Africa Logistics, you mentioned something that I have to scratch a bit on. You said it came into existence in 2015, after a long journey of trying out business, right?
True.
I really am very interested in hearing about this long journey, because usually it's from these journeys that you come up with something as brilliant, amazing as Africa.
Basically, it was not even trying out because we had an existing business from the year 2009. We were 3 partners. It was called Wiseway Freighters Limited. We founded this company together with colleagues that we used to work together with. So we grew so fast. In the first 3 years, we were already employing about 15 people. And then we had presence all over the East African region. We were moving big business in Kenya, especially in terms of transport. We own trucks. But then we had a partnership issues, normal boardroom wrangles, which went on for about 2 years. And then that was the start of the downturn of Wiseway Freighters. But afterwards, I had to stand strong because I was the major shareholder in the previous business. So I had learned my ropes. And then I looked at my customers, especially the ones who are still holding on with us. And I was like, who else can offer this kind of service to them? So I sat down with my wife, and she encouraged me and told me, please, start it again. Try it on your own. And if it doesn't work, probably the other time you'll give up. And then now that's how we founded Africa Logistics.
Now, Wiseway Freighters, that's what it was called, right?
Yes.
Wiseway, you tried out with a partnership, it didn't work. What key lessons did you learn from that that maybe helped you with now successfully setting up Africa Logistics? And the reason I ask is because there's some entrepreneurs who want to go into business, they want to go into partnerships, but they take it for granted. They think it will always work. So just talk to me about that experience with working with partners it didn't, and how that somehow didn't pan out the way you wanted it to, but how it helped now with giving rise to Africa Logistics.
I think one of the things that any entrepreneur that should focus on, especially when they are starting up and they wish to have partners, is how well do you know this other person? How well do you understand them? Do they have the same vision as yours? Do they buy into your dream? If you didn't start with them on scratch, then you have to be very careful whether what they're into the business for the business or they're into the business for the money. So that is one key thing that I learned. And then I realized it has to be someone who cares and who has the same passion as yours, because you're the first 2 or 3 employees of that business when you form it. So you must carry the vision of that company or the vision of that enterprise from the start. If you can't, then you have to review it and say, why can't I do it alone? Because then you're going to burn your own fuel, but for a greater benefit tomorrow. Yeah.
So now with Africa Logistics, I want you to tell me specifically, what is it that you do? Talk to me about your product range. Talk to me about the countries where you're in operation. Talk to me about the difference that you're making by using your business.
Yeah. Number one, I mentioned the warehousing storage systems. We are offering what you call the upright racking systems in warehouses, where we help guys who own warehouses or want to maximize on space use the vertical space. we always look at the spaces above our heads whenever we are, whether it's at home or in stores or in malls, then we don't utilize that space fully. So it's a concept that we founded in 2017 after being funded by the Tony Elmel Foundation. And we realized we can help these people, especially manufacturers or people in the warehousing industry, manage the upward space, because vertically we are not using this space maximally. So that's service number one that we are offering in terms of warehousing. Number two, we do the shipping logistics, where we help importers or exporters move their products across the globe. So we can collect your goods from foreign countries, arrange for inspection of those goods, do warehousing for export, and facilitate customs clearance all through to your door. Because when it reaches here again, you require our service. So we are giving what you call a one-stop service. And this one has really helped us now come up as Africa Logistics. Because then most clients are looking at whom can I trust with my service end to end. Most of the agents or most of the logistics partners can only offer one service, probably shipping alone. Then once you get to destination, you have to look for a clearing agent. We offer that. Others will not have presence in the countries of supply. So we go out and establish, like now we have an office in China, in Guangzhou and Shanghai. If you have a product in that market, we can help you collect it, process it for export, bring it here, clear it for you, deliver it to your doorstep. Another service that we are offering is consolidation. For example, you are 10 of you and you like to buy furniture, say from China, but then you have small quantities. So we help you put together all these products in one container, ship it in, and then deliver to all of you at a proper cost or maybe affordable cost than when you'll have done it all alone. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So now you mentioned something about clientele.
Yes.
And also you're operating beyond the confines of just Kenya.
Exactly.
Who's your target audience and how do you even source for this? Because we do know of other existing logistics firms available. So how do you go about it to make sure you stand out? And you know, everyone, when they think about freight, when they think about logistics, they think about Africa.
Yeah. Our main customers are the distributors. For example, those who are bringing in consumer products or household items, say furniture, or those ones who are bringing in equipment. So we focused more on two markets. Number one, the people in the warehousing industry. Why? Is because we are also in the same industry, so we understand it better. Yeah. Then number two, the consumer people who are bringing electronics. Why electronics? Is because we can save them time and we can manage the logistics from, as I said, from the point of source. Most of the agents or the logistics partners cannot do that, because someone in electronics will want to buy products from different suppliers, not just entirely one supplier. So buying from different suppliers requires someone who can collect and put all these things together. Then do the inspection, which is also another hassle. So we put in our people to run the hassle on behalf of the client. And that one has helped us now keep the clients closer to us. Not only that, in the same industry, once we are here, we come in on distribution level. So when they warehouse the goods probably with us or their own warehouses, we can help them move the products from one point to another market. For example, if they're sending them to Kitale or they want to send them back to Mombasa, we can offer light-duty trucks which can help them move the products. So these key things have made us unique and separated our competition from the main market or the other players.
Now, Dennis, you mentioned that you've tried your hand out at employment. Yeah. I would like to hear what that experience was like, and at what point did you decide, you know, this is not working for me. I want to actually do my own thing. I want to try my hand out at entrepreneurship.
Yeah, I was employed for about 5 years only before I called it quits.
Right.
Yes, so in the year 2002 after I finished college, I didn't get a formal employment per se, but I started off as a casual worker with an export company. So we used to do packing and removals. So I had a diploma in air cargo handling, but I never disclosed that to my employers. I only used my high school certificates to get into that job because then it was quite competitive. That's a time, you can remember the Moi time, when people never used to have good employment. Yeah. So I was employed by a company called Express Kenya, which is very, you're familiar with it. It's in the logistics and C&F industry. So I worked there as an export clerk for the first 4 or 5 months until I was confirmed in the same year. But I rose through the ranks because of my hard work and diligence. So by the end of the year, I was already a supervisor of the same department, starting off as a casual, remember.
In 1 year?
In 1 year, record 1 year. I started off at 200 shillings per day, working for 4 days a week. By the end of the year, I was earning about 25,000 shillings. That was a huge sum of money at that time. I think most of you are still in school or something. Yeah. So I moved on to a second company, which I can say I was poached because, and then I was the only IATA certified individual within the airport at that time. We were just about 4 guys. 3 of them were working with Kenya Airways, and I was working with a private firm. So I went to Signon Cargo. I was in the transit shed and warehouse industry and doing airside operations for the airlines, loading, unloading, and moving products from the airlines or the aircrafts back to the warehouse. Yeah. Afterwards, I went to a third company. Remember, this is in a span of 4 years. I had already worked with 3 or 4 companies. So I moved to Express Kenya, not Express Kenya, sorry, Freight in Time. And I was an assistant manager in charge of imports. So at the age of 24, I was already an assistant manager in my life. It was a huge task because then I was managing about 25 people in that department, and it was quite a big role to play because then I was so young, I was not married, but then I was dealing with guys who were in their 50s, in their 60s, who were under me. Right. But it was a good challenge because then I learned a lot, the issues of discipline, issues of teamwork, consistent, persistence. Yes. They used to call me a 7 a.m. man, 7 p.m. man because I used to report to work at 7 a.m. and leave at 7 p.m. I was the only employee who could report at that time and leave that late. So afterwards is when now I thought of, I think I've worked enough. And I never resigned on a big reason or an issue where people say I've invested now. I just got tired.
You just felt like enough was
Yes, I just got tired. I could no longer work. I didn't have the drive, because I just felt I've done enough. And then I moved out because I took my leave for about 3 months, thought about it, went to my village, sat around, asked my mom, can I do farming? I think this thing can pay me far much better than what I'm doing now. Then she told me, go back to work. I told her I'm not going back to work. I think I want to start something else. So only one customer made me now to think of entrepreneurship. Right. Because while I was away, he had issues with my employers. No one could actually deliver his service the way he expected or the way he used to receive it when I'm around. I used to receive phone calls every day. And then I thought of this client and I told him, okay, now what are you doing there? He said, I'm going to move the business away from this company. I told him, please don't. If anything, move it to me. Yes. I'll hand it for you. And so that was the start. There. Exactly. And that was the start. And as they say, customer service is key. Right. That is the same client that I held on for the whole of 2006 to survive, pay my bills, pay my rent, and everything. And later on, referrals started coming in. And in 2007, 2008, we thought of why can't we form something with my other employees? And that's when we started the previous company.
Now, Dennis, yours has obviously been quite the journey. Yeah. From when you tried out your hand in employment, from when you started from grass to where you are now, Grace, from you trying out with partners and it not working out to where you are today. My question is, at what point did you feel like it's now worth it? At what point did it make sense? At what point did you feel like, you know what, this entrepreneurship thing, this is really what I need to be doing? Do you feel validated in your decision?
Yeah, of course. Around 2010, just a year after we started off, I felt this is a real life. Because you wake up to nothing and you go back home with something when you're running your own enterprise. And like in employment, you'll wake up with nothing, come back with nothing. And that's why most people go on. In the middle of the month, they ask to be paid some money from their own salary. End of the month, half of the salary. But in entrepreneurship, it is up to you. You want to wake up at 10, you want to wake up at 5 a.m., it's up to you. But the drive, that whatever you're achieving out there. So around that year is when I started seeing business coming in. The challenge was, how do you hold on the business? Because customer satisfaction in your service, timely service, especially in our system, because any delay in one day, you're going to pay storages. So we could manage very fast clearance processes, very fast movement of products across the continent, very fast deliveries, and that's what made customers now come to us. Number 2, I think, is making your clients your friends. understanding your client all around, their needs, their timings, because these are people who rely on orders and their orders are planned. So if he wants to ship a product, you have to watch carefully. What are the circles? What are the high times for this customer? So we studied customers and we decided, why can't we run with the customers? So we know when they want to place their orders, we start with them. We run the journey with them up to the end as we deliver. The moment we deliver, don't leave them. We keep on checking with them. Where are your clients? Where's your market? Like one in the warehousing industry, I can tell you, I was #1 marketer for his products because I could identify the market within my industry and give him leads to several clients. So he was selling directly to my competitors at times. So that one alone brought the confidence in him. We are the best of friends. From 2007, this client has never left me. Yeah, he's still my client up to now.
Oh, wow. Yeah. So that's Dennis Mutoro, Managing Director of Africa Logistics, with a very, very, very motivating and inspirational story. Do not go anywhere. We're going to take a very, very quick break. But when we come back, we'll have more for you on Entrepreneurs Lounge. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to Entrepreneurs Lounge. Now, my second guest is Sue Mweni, founder of Sud Watches, a very interesting, innovative, different kind of watch line that currently exists in Kenya. You're welcome, Sue.
Thank you.
Sud Watches. Tell me about it.
So it's been an amazing journey, first of all. And the watches are as beautiful as the journey, I would say.
So beautiful.
So it's been 4 years of doing this, and I must say I have learned a lot, first of all, majorly about watches, because I feel like it's one venture that most people wouldn't go for.
Actually, not a lot of people have.
Because it's a strange product. It's one that we thought that, you know, it's always been from either Switzerland and all that. So it's been an interesting journey. I started 4 years ago. I was in campus. Well, I've loved watches all through my life when I was in primary school and all that. So I was gifted watches a lot by my parents, by my grandma, who apparently is called Masa, as in you guys. My grandma is called Masa.
Wow.
Like my mom's mom. Then my dad's mom is called Sa, as in...
Stop. It was written in the stars. This
so
was meant
I think
to
it's
be.
destiny, for sure. Because I didn't even see how Masa and Sa, how do you kids get married and give birth to someone who loves, I don't know. But yeah, maybe it's just destiny.
No,
so
destiny.
my grandma gifted me a watch that I still have up to today. So when I went to campus, I used to just buy watches for myself. Then a friend of mine saw one of the watches and they're like, I want a watch. I'm like, well, I could get one because I was in Eldoret, in Moi University, Eldoret. So I'm like, I could get you one when I go back to the city. They're like, no, actually want to buy yours. I'm like, okay, sawa. If you have the money now, then give me the money. Then I'll just trade in my watch. Then I'll buy myself a watch. So they didn't have the money, but they were with a friend of theirs who had the money. So the friend bought the watch for themselves, like alirusha beshte yake too, like they just bought the watch and then the other guy is like, yo, I'm the one who wanted the watch. So there was demand right there. So I needed 2 watches, mine and the guy's, who's actually called Gibson. Yeah, Gibson. So I came back to the city because I used to come often, and then I bought 2 watches. And then someone else saw, and it just became like a business, you know, but like low-key, because I'm not selling watches, but someone sees, like, why did you get the watch? Sue can get you. So then I bought like 5 of them when I was going back for my 2nd semester, and I sold them. Then I was like, Instagram is becoming the thing. I'm also on Instagram a lot. How about I just start a page? And then from there, I can just be selling the watches and then delivering. Then interestingly, most guys who are buying the watches were from Nairobi. Right. And where I was getting the watches was Nairobi. Yes. So I'm like, actually the problem is not that the goods are not available. Maybe it's just the customers are where I am at, you get. Because if they're in the streets, the watches, because I just buy the watches from the streets, like the cheap ones, like 200 bob. Then I'll tell it for like 8 sok. Right. So campus, I had some money to spare and all that. I used to get help. Then it became a business. Then later on, we just started joking with my friends. They're like, wow, this has actually become a business. Imagine if you ever just owned your own brand of watches. I'm like, crazy. Like, how are you even thinking of that? Because where would I even start making the watches from? And it became a joke. I can't even remember. Sometimes I say I can't remember where the name Sood came from, only that I know it comes from Sue. But I think we were just making a joke with a friend of mine, and they're like, your brand would be Sood. I can't remember how that came up, but Sood came up. And then now, you know, campus, young people, it's a controversial name. You just got sued. Well, not by the court of law, but by Sue. So, you know, you just got sued. So it's a fun name. It's actually it's a controversial fun name. So I started making t-shirts, because that's where now I was like, okay, maybe I can make watches now, but I could have t-shirts and capes, and they sold. So fast forward, I think 6 months or 8 months into the idea, my business is still going on. Then my page was called Sue Watches, because now it was still me. Yes. I hadn't started the Sue thing. So I got an opportunity via Blaze, and they came to campus. They came to Eldoret. Then they used to do like activations in campuses. So there was that event. Now the summit was in Eldoret. The tickets were free. They were giving out free credit, I think, and the transport was free. So a friend of mine is like, "Hey, see, we go for this thing because it's in LD. We're doing nothing. The transport is free." I'm like, I don't feel like hype this weekend. I feel like it's just going to be one of those events where too much, it's just loud. They're like, no, I feel like this is going to be different. I'm like, okay. She showed me a poster, and I could see now some of the people I look up to, like Patricia Kihoro, they were coming. I was like, okay, let me just go meet these people, and then maybe it will be a day that is worth it. So we went to Eldoret. Then there were different pods, like tech, fashion, entrepreneurship. So I just went to entrepreneurship because my business, which I didn't consider actually a business then, because, you know, you just make money, you buy clothes, you make money, you go out. It was just like making money to use money, not like to save and have capital and all that. So I went to the pod for entrepreneurship. And then the guy who was giving like a pep talk asked a question, and I answered. So the question was, I can't forget some of the things that happened, you know, earlier on in the business, because I feel like it's just like dots connecting, you know, just dots connecting, and they keep connecting up until today. But the question was, so what do you do? Anyone who has a business? Then no one was raising up their hands. I'm like, yo guys, I think we are here because we have businesses. So let me just put up my hand. So I put up my hand, and they asked, what do you do? I said, I sell watches. Then he's like, so where would you want to see your business in the next 5 years or in the years to come? You know, I just ran quickly back and picked up the idea for I would want to have a brand of watches, nini, you know, looking smart and all. And it's like, actually, that's really nice, because all along I've been a very Afrocentric person, like my style and all that. Because even that day I was wearing something Ankara. So he's like, yeah, that's nice. You'd want to have an African line of watches that just portrays, you know, the culture in Africa and all that. I'm like, yeah. He's like, we have a tent where people are auditioning for like a competition that's going to be a show. Just go ahead and get it. I was like, fine, I'll go. 3 hours later, I didn't go. Why? Because you remember, in the first place, I was just there for the hype.
Yes.
It was
and
never actually
role
just
models,
feel like it's
really.
just what I'm saying. It's destiny, is because, you know, you're being pushed to your just go. So I meet the guy at around 5 p.m. They're closing up. He's like, did you go? I'm like, no, I didn't go. He dragged me.
Whoa.
He's like, go and just pitch your idea. So I pitched. I was lucky to get on the show. I was lucky to get funding. Then I was 23 years old, and I was just thinking, okay, I have the money. You know, most excuses people have is, I don't have the money.
Startup capital.
You have the money, so what's your excuse? Nothing. So just what was left was I really made sure I'm disciplined enough to just invest the money and not spend the money. And that's what I've been doing all along.
So this is such a beautiful story, and like you said, I'm really a believer that this was meant to be destiny for you, because with a lot of entrepreneurs, the story is so different. The way I feel, it's like yours just came to you. It kept finding you. So my question is, have you even encountered any challenges? If yes, like what have been your biggest challenges on this entrepreneurship journey?
Well, I think with every entrepreneurship journey comes with there are challenges. Even the smoothest must have challenges. I feel like mine were those ones of, it's something different. And I'm telling you that it's like I've met so many people I look up to, and you're telling them what you do, and they're still like, huh? You make watches? Right. And then beaded, like beaded strapped watches, and people are like, why can't you just make something simple for the person in the office? Like most people were just like, it's strange. Are you sure you don't want to, like, it was really, really strange. I think that's one, like finding acceptance.
Yes.
Was really hard until I actualized it, and people bought and people are like, actually this is cool, but just getting the acceptance was a little hard. And then the rest is just, as a young person, I feel like the hardest bit of this has been that I'm a millennial, that there's so many things distracting me. I have so much energy for other things, but I need to discipline myself enough to just know that, this is business money. You're going to invest it back. You can't be saying you have money, you don't have money. And then the other one is just, getting systems that, because the watches are custom made. And if there's one thing I can say is, it's hard to, I've come to realize and just respect people who have custom made products, because that means you're making it to the clients. The deadlines are crazy, because if you say 7 days, people want, it's harder than if I had like just a cup, and every time you buy, there's another cup, than if you want a cup that is this particular size, this particular, So the custom bead is also a challenge in getting systems, but you grow as you go. Honestly, I feel like as you go, you learn, you grow, yeah.
Now, so you've heavily leveraged on Instagram a lot. In fact, that's the greatest platform you've used to sell your products. I would like to know how social media, Instagram, whatever other platform, especially for you as a millennial, how helpful is that when it comes to pushing your business? Would you advise that as one of the areas people look at for publicity when it comes to putting your business out there? What has been your experience?
So for Instagram and actually just social media, I'm really now, this year I'm challenging myself to master Facebook, because I feel like Facebook is much harder. And like, Instagram is you just take a picture, caption, post it. Facebook will give you so many things. You have to run ads, and then there's commenting. The commenting part is also taking up so much space. It's so, but yeah, I must say it. But Instagram is one of the platforms I feel like if you find the right customers on there, honestly, your business will blossom, because it's more of picture. Just take proper pictures. Again, just caption, use the right hashtags, and you'll get tractions. Because like one hashtag could lead into someone in the US just seeing your post, yet you made it in Kenya. And it's, for now, for the millennials and for the world that we're living in right now, I feel like most people are on their phones. You look at a matatu, and even there's a day I even just said, okay, I'm waiting for a matatu, but let me just observe. And you notice everyone in the matatu is just on their phones. Either it's WhatsApp, either it's Facebook, either it's Instagram. Everyone is on their phone. True. So having a shop, eventually I would want to have a shop, but having a shop is not what I'm focusing on right now, because you just want to bring the things on people's faces. You see it, you like it, you buy it. I feel like Instagram is quite a platform. If people could maximize on it, it could really, really go viral in a snap. And I think one thing I'm hoping for is I'll just use one hashtag someday, and then some celebrity in the States, the ones we look up to, could just see it and be like, yo, I want this. And then that's it. I'm like,
it's like,
boom. It's been real. Yeah.
So with that, what would you say has been your greatest achievement to date? Then where you look back on and you're like, so you did amazing there.
If there's one thing actually I've learned to do is celebrate my, just little wins. People, or even most entrepreneurs expect it to be, you started, boom, now you're Rolex. Because I even remember there's someone who told me, because I had pitched to them before, and then I got the chance on Blaze, I got money. Well, not enough money, but I made it work. And I was pitching to them, and when I came back now with a watch, they were like, I thought you'd do like a watch like Rolex. I'm like, but there's already a Rolex. Like, so I'm supposed to come with a Rolex and a suit Rolex. What's the difference? But I feel like the greatest achievement, I'll give you two. One is being able to, innovate and just carve out a product from one of the products that have been there since, watches have been there since Kitambo, but just making sure that you're not selling the obvious, big up Sue for that. Yeah. And then the other one is just looking at a customer. There's a day I was at an event and I met a customer wearing my watch, and the joy that she had, you know, people just loving the product, but especially when it's someone I don't know.
It's so gratifying.
It's so gratifying. Like, yo, I love your work, I love your watches. You know, that smile and that joy when someone rocks a product that really feels good on them. I really feel good. I feel like that's an achievement. Having people who follow you and love you, value and all that, for me, that makes me really happy.
Now, so one more thing, because I really need to know. And I'm going to take you back to almost where it all began with that question. Where do you see your business 5 years from now? Because back then, the answer was, I want to have my own brand of, you know, watches. Yeah. Here we are, Sood Watches. Right now, where you sit, where do you see Sood Watches 5 years from now?
So 5 years from now, that's 2024. Okay. Sounds strange, 2024.
Yes, very close, very near.
close. So I think I would want Sood, and it's something I've been building on slowly, yeah? Where Sood is like your one-stop for all watches or time or, you know, like Sood now is a brand where we have different designs of watches. Whether you're the extra person, whether you like something minimalistic, whether you want a clock, whether you want your watch to be repaired, whether it's Sood or not. You get the one shop you'll walk into and know, I will not walk out of this place without
finding
my watch or my time management thing. Yeah.
That's the nice
I think, because again, I tell you, with times are changing, and it's good to even have like business plan and all that, but there are things that just happen, and your idea just starts growing differently from what you had written down and said, I'll do this and this and this and that and that. So I'm just giving it to the universe as I just pursue what now myself I can see. Whatever happens, if we start making city clocks, well and good.
Well and good. So
I'm open. I'm honestly open to it.
You're doing beautiful things, Sood. Well, that's Sood Moeni, who got an ordinary idea, tweaked it around, made it her own into something very extraordinary. However, we now have to take a very quick break, but do not go anywhere because we'll be back with so much more on Entrepreneurs Lounge. Welcome back to Entrepreneurs Lounge, and you're just in time for our quick fire round. Now, Dennis, so in this round, what happens is I'll ask 5 general, almost business questions. The idea is to get business questions. It's business trivia. So the idea is to, like, most correct answers, well, the correct answer gets a point. Most correct answers gets crowned our quick fire king or queen. We've had some very impressive people take this crown. It's a crown that people die to have. You might want to die to win this round. Are you ready? Yes. So quick fire round. Quick fire question number 1. So Dennis, are you sure you're ready? Yes. Question number 1. What is the all-time best-selling car in the world?
Ford.
No. I'll give you a clue. It's very common on Kenyan roads. It's a Japanese car.
Toyota.
Toyota what? It's actually Toyota something. Yes, the highest best-selling car in the world.
Oh, well, I don't know, Toyota Corolla. Yeah, and I have...
It's one of these situations where you give the answer and then someone joyrides on your
Because you did ask the model, yes? Which car?
Well, then I said Toyota what? That's the point too. So it's actually a Toyota Corolla, and as of 2007, it sold 30 million cars, making it the highest selling car of all time. Question number 2. American inventor Douglas Engelbart, don't fear. American inventor Douglas Engelbart is known for inventing which clicking device?
A keyboard?
No.
Clock.
No.
A mouse?
Yes, a computer mouse. That's true. He invented the computer mouse.
I give
Question
up.
number 3. Dennis, this one's yours. Come on now. So he's like, keyboard? And then you said what? He said what? Something that was so off. Our clock, that doesn't even click. Question number 3. If Manhattan is the financial hub of New York, Pudong is the similar equivalent for which city? Manhattan is the financial hub for New York. Pudong is the similar equivalent for which city? It's the financial capital for which city? Pudong, come on guys.
Tokyo. Japan.
It's one of those Asian ones. Starts with a B, guys. Dennis?
Beijing.
Yes!
I was like Bangladesh.
No, Beijing.
Okay.
Question number 4. So a point to Dennis, 2 points to Sue. Question number 4. This one you have to pay attention. Which company that was the 4th most valued brand in the world filed for bankruptcy in 2012 because it failed to adapt to the digital age? So you know how everything is changing with technology? It just failed to adapt. It used to be the 4th biggest brand, went under, filed for bankruptcy. Which company? It's a camera company.
Kodak.
Wow! Sue saw my questions before the show.
No.
It is Kodak. It's true. Question number 5 and the final question. 3 points to Sue, 1 point to Dennis. Dennis, you want to lose at least with a good margin. So this one's yours. This is a very
I'll leave
easy
it to
one.
the ladies to
This one
check
is leaning towards your direction. Question number 5 and the final quick fire round question. Who is the founder and chairman of Amazon? Founder and chairman of Amazon.
That's a
Yes.
Okay,
Good
because
job.
names are out.
That's
yeah,
it.
yeah.
2 points to Dennis, 3 points to Sue, and Sue is our quick fire round winner. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Well, that's all we had for you today on Entrepreneurs Lounge. And whether you're into logistics or just a lover of watches, I'm sure you've had something to take home from this episode, whether it's in terms of inspiration or even ideas of what you should be doing. And remember, as usual, we've been shooting at Dotage Home Exclusive Furniture in Westlands on Parklands Road. I'm your host, Ingrid Nantege. Have a beautiful evening.